Let's continue working on the layers. So our next exploration would be to create a new layer. So let's get going. I have here created a function or a method called create layer. Basically, this is being built on top of the first method that we've created from the previous video. So let's get going. So we have here the code structure. Now we need to retrieve the layer table again. So layer table ly tab equals from the transaction we need to get the get object method, then db the layer table id, open mode that for read, as layer table. Okay, now there is this method from the layer table that you can verify if a layer already exists. So there is this ly tab, that is our layer table, that has, and specify your layer name. In our case, let's just create a misc for miscellaneous layer, for example. Then if it already exists, then we'll just have to message the user layer already exists. Then we abort the transaction. Otherwise, we are going to create it. So now that we have this ly tab, there is another method that we need to execute first before we can start creating our own layer. It's called upgrade open. Then we can create a layer table record now. Let's call this as LTR, new layer table record. Now that we have the layer table record, we can specify the layer name equals miscellaneous or misc. And also we can assign a color to that layer equals, there is one library or namespace in AutoCAD that has all the layers. So it's called autodesk.autocad colors, then that color method colors, this is from color index, and this is this color method that we can specify color method that by layer, then the index would be 1. What is the color? Let's make it as red, so it's 1. This is quite a lengthy method. This can be simplified because I don't want us to keep typing all of this every time we retrieve the color method. So I'd recommend to just extract this and put in the using section here. So now that it is there, all we need to do is use the color. See, this one is already grayed out because we already have declared the namespace. So this is just all we need now. We don't need to type in every time all of these namespaces here. Okay, so that would be a more I should say precise or clear in our code, easier to understand. And now we can add into the layer table. We have already specified the name, the color. That should be good for our requirement for now. Then the layer table record. And then we can add into the transaction as well. This is similar to all the graphical objects that we have created from the previous videos, only that this is a non-graphical, but still you have to add it into the transaction. And we can make this layer as the current layer using the C layer. And then what is the current layer? That would be our MISC. Okay, now we can just message the user doc.editor.write message. Let's say layer and concatenate the layer name, LTR, layer table record, that name. Just basically make it more presentable to the user. Was created successfully. And then commit transaction. Trans.commit. There you go. So this will be the code to create a layer, a new layer. So in this part here, we just validated or check first if the layer already exists, then we don't need to create it. But if it's not, then this is how to create a new layer. Okay, basically this particular code block here. Let's save the project and do a rebuild. Let me open AutoCAD while it's building and we can try it out. So it's the rebuild. Alright, now let us load our plugin. Let this go. Let's search for the file which is layers, line types, and styles. Load it. Okay, so before that, let us see what are the layers in this drawing. So these are all the layers. We don't have the MISC or the miscellaneous layers yet. Now if we run our method create layer, layer MISC was successfully created. So now if we check the layers again, we have it here and it's red and now it's current. Alright, so that's about it for the create layer method. I'll see you in the next video.